Welcome back to Fox 11 News in Depth. I'm Hal Eisner. Even those who don't get the virus can be affected by the pandemic in life-altering ways. Many Americans are barely hanging on financially, and the latest stimulus bill may have arrived just in the nick of time. Our next guest is attorney Ugo Lord. He's been studying the stimulus bill and is here to talk to us about it and how it can benefit you most. But welcome. Glad to have you here, Ugo.
Thanks for having me, Hal.
So right now, many people are either getting direct deposits of cash or getting a check in the mail, thanks to that stimulus bill, right? But not everybody is eligible. So why don't we just start there? Who's not eligible? Who is eligible?
Absolutely. So Congress has passed this bill allowing those that make less than $75,000 or those that are married making $150,000 to receive $600 stimulus payments. And this continues to increase up to $87,000 in smaller increments. And anyone above that $80,000 mark, $87,000 mark is capped, and they won't be receiving anything this round.
So what is the effect of this on unemployment?
The fact is that people need help, as you mentioned. People just need a little bit of help getting by. Many people are employed or underemployed and still need help. Consequently, Congress has also passed relief in the form of unemployment stimulus as well. We're talking $300 a week on top of the state's unemployment method. This program has already started to kick in for those that are receiving regular unemployment. And for those that are gig workers, it will trickle a little slowly throughout this month, but they still can back pay their $300 weekly bonus back to December 27th. So help is on the way.
Ugo, there's a provision in there that renews the eviction ban, but you have some advice to renters as to how to protect themselves?
Absolutely. There are two really important things to focus on. The first is to stay away from the 15-day trap. What that means is when your landlord sends a notice to pay rent or quit, you have 15 business days, which is about 3 weeks, to submit to that landlord a notice, which is a declaration of financial hardship. So long as you submit that within the 15 days, you'll be protected. And then in addition to that, Hal, we also have a fact that you must pay at least 25% of the rent that is owed between September and January 31st of this year in order to receive future protection. This does not have to be paid in a lump sum. This can be paid in installments, but so long as you meet that 25% mark by the 31st of this month, you cannot be evicted moving forward for past rent owed between September and January of this year.
But let me ask you, there's also money in there for rent and utilities. How does that work?
Hal, you're absolutely right. $25 billion, in fact. And what that is, those are payments that go directly to your landlord or directly to the utility to help you pay either back rent or future rent, because this program can last for 12 months. Now, landlords out there can even apply on behalf of their tenants, so long as they get permission from their tenants. These programs are still being rolled out, so the application process is not open, but Congress has given the money to allow it to begin on January 26th. That is when the doors have to open. So it's going to be a lot of swift movement throughout the next few weeks.
Is there more payroll protection for small businesses?
Absolutely. PPP, it is what all small business owners are talking about. Congress has renewed PPP forgivable loans that become eligible this very week, Hal. It's starting off with small community banks. You can apply with small community banks in order to get up to $20,000 if you're a single employee business, or even more if you have more employees. And it will roll out to big banks starting next week, the big Chase, Wells Fargo. Next week, business owners can begin to apply. Hal, it's important to remember, so long as you follow the rules, this money is forgivable. Much needed relief for our business owners.
What happens to people who might be afraid to file claims because they're undocumented?
It's really interesting because this is a sensitive topic, especially in our state. It's important to know that if you are a DACA recipient, if you are eligible to work, you can receive benefits. That includes stimulus benefits and unemployment benefits, so long as you have a social security number. Now, let's say you have a tax ID number and you don't have a social security number. It will not allow you to qualify for unemployment benefits, but your business can still qualify for relief. And when I say your business, you can be a sole proprietor. You don't have to have a registered LLC to be a business. As a sole proprietor, you can apply for these funds.
I just want to say this as we wrap up the segment. I had people that come up to me on the street, like a woman who came up to me this week, and she said, "Can you do me a favor? Can you call President Biden when he's inaugurated and ask him to get the money to me because she's hurting?" And she said people in her neighborhood are hurting, and they need this help. So this help is so incredibly important. Ugo Lord, thanks for joining us. Really do appreciate it. And coming up on Fox 11 News in Depth, we'll continue talking about the world around us here at the beginning of the new year. We'll be right back talking with restaurant workers. Don't go away.